Welcome to SWEN. We've got a great show for you.
All my friends call me the low rider. Low rider is a little higher.
On April 8th, there will be PSATs and SATs for sophomores and juniors. Yay! A day off for seniors, and freshmen have nothing, because freshmen don't deserve anything. Yay! Now on the question with Gavin and Riley. Yay!
Welcome to Question of the Week. The question of the week is, if you became president, what would be the first thing you'd do? Let's go.
If I was the president, personally, first thing I would do, lower the drinking age back to 18. Because why did it ever change in the first place, you know?
Give Puerto Rico statehood, because that's like millions of people who can't vote in our elections and stuff. They aren't really, represented, so I think that's something we should do.
I'm here with Jasper. So the question of the week is, if you became president, what would be the first thing you'd do?
I would legalize all of my vices.
If you became president, what is the first thing you'd do?
Like telling other people about me and just, what can I say?
Baron Bryson from the United States.
Me and Calvin would become like kings. Like everyone has to bow down to us.
What's up, guys? If I was president, the first thing I would do is I'd probably take away homework.
Yes, I agree.
We do schoolwork for 7 hours a day, and then we go home and we do homework that we could be doing in study hall, but instead we all wait till we get home, and then we don't do it.
True.
We don't get the homework grade.
So if you became president, what's the first thing you'd do?
Stop being president and let someone else be it.
Mr. Burns, what's up?
Was that?
I definitely have Bernie Sanders as my vice president. I'd go with whatever he told me to do.
If you became president, what would be the first thing you'd do?
Probably last phone to schools.
All right, that's been question of the week. To answer it for myself, I'd put a KFC in the White House so I can get food whenever I want.
That's been question of the week. For my answer, the first thing I'd do as president, I'd make iPhones illegal to own because they're terrible. Back to you, Anchor.
Good job, Gavin and Riley. Yay! Now on to weather with Enoch. Yay!
Hey there, kiddies. Welcome to weather. First off, on Monday we are seeing cloudy days with a high of 53 and a low of 39. On Tuesday, we're looking at another cloudy day with a high of 49 and a low of 32. It's going to be cold out there, kiddos. On Wednesday, we're seeing another cloudy day yet again with a high of 43 and a low of 31. Ooh, chilling. Well, kiddos. On Thursday, the 2nd, it's going to be a high of 46 and a low of 29. And it's going to be sunny weather. Ooh. All right, on Friday, we've got another cloudy day. Sad, sad week for us all. With a high of 43 and a low of 31. That's all for weather, cats. Thank you, Deborah. That's some good juice.
Great job, Enoch. Now on to Recco with H1 Enoch. Yay!
Hello and welcome to Evil Recommendations. I am Atra. And I am Enoch. We're evil clones. Robots. Clones. Robots. Evil clones. Robots. Evil. Evil robot clones. First up, for a bad movie that you totally shouldn't watch, I recommend The Room, unless you want to see the worst movie ever, because it's just awful, like not understanding how to make any kind of story structure. It's famously bad, but it's also, you can get a pretty good laugh out of it. The characters are very weird. Nothing in the movie makes any sense, and it's just generally very poorly made.
For a film I don't recommend you watch, Jennifer's Body, because it's the worst film I've ever seen. The only good part, the film is complete dog water, and I hate it, and I hate you.
For an awful album you should never listen to, I recommend Saint Anchor by Metallica. It's their worst album, no song is good, and the production is just awful. Every snare drum sounds like this. It's just horrible. Just one of the worst albums I've ever heard.
For an album that I absolutely hate and you should never listen to, I don't recommend Generation Swine by Motley Crue, because it was made before AI, so the heartbreaking thing is that real humans put their mind into this project just for it to turn out so terribly awful. It's the worst thing that my ears have ever had the awful experience of listening to.
For a disgusting, awful, terrible, evil food, I don't recommend ham and cheese hollandaise. Just look at it. You've just filled to the brim
with shame, regret, disappointment, disgust, disdain, and hatred at the very thought of this awful food.
Don't you dare ever eat it.
If you want something putrid and vile, you should try head cheese. What it is they cut off a pig's head and they boil it and you eat the brains. That's head cheese. That's what it is. That's real. You can look that up.
For a disgusting flavor of soda, I recommend the peanut butter and jelly soda. I don't know whoever thought it was a good idea to mix peanut butter and soda. Like drinking peanut butter, what went wrong in the head there to make that decision? I can kind of understand the thought process for jelly, but peanut butter and come on, dude, that sucks. That's awful.
For a drink that I absolutely despise, Peeps Pepsi. It was a limited time item, and I'm so glad that it was limited, because it is awful and it made me puke. That's not a lie. That's not a joke. This is an April Fool's episode. That wasn't a joke. I puked in my own bed when I drank it.
That's it for evil recommendations.
It's evil.
Great job, Atra and Enoch. That's all for SWEN this week.